Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Tech Sharmit podcast. Today, I'm here with another special guest, Buchi Michelle Okonicha, who is joining us today all the way from Nigeria. Buchi is a remarkable software engineer, community leader, and a Google developer expert in web technologies. Buchi is the co founder of Africa, a mentorship and networking platform that empowers individuals through meaningful connection and guidance. She is also an ambassador for Women Techmakers, where she worked tirelessly to support and empower women in tech industry, creating opportunities for inclusion and growth. So today we will explore Buchi's fascinating journey, her work in advancing women in tech, and how she balanced her various roles while making a significant impact in the industry. But before we dive in, I would like to thank Buchi for joining us today in this episode. And now I request you to please initiate the discussion by telling us something about yourself.
Thank you so much, Amit, for the introduction. I'm also excited to be here and having this conversation with you. So you already said a lot about me. My name is Buchi Michelle Okonicha, and I'm from Nigeria. And I am a software engineer. I'm a Google developer expert. I'm a Women Techmakers ambassador, and I also co-founded Aricah, which is a mentorship platform. And so yes, and I also have an initiative, Girls Like Me Africa, and yes, basically, and I also write technical articles. So yeah, that's like basic
Okay.
about me. Yeah.
All right. So let's start the discussion through your journey from studying itself. So can you share your journey like from studying because you studied in microbiology at University of Nigeria, Nsukka, to becoming and then you become a leading software engineer at Google developer and a Google developer expert. So how like you transition from a microbiology stream to a technological area?
Okay, so I like you already mentioned, I studied microbiology in school, but microbiology, yeah, and after school, I actually never worked as a microbiologist. So after school, I decided to like explore other aspects of technology, basically. I've always been fascinated with technology and how technology works and actually how it changes things. And seeing that, I've always wanted to build my own applications, like build my own products, build my own startups. I decided that why not try to learn how to build these apps. First of all, it would feed your curiosity. That's me. Like I told myself to was going to feed my curiosity as well as allow me to learn how to build the apps. So by the time I'm ready to launch my startup, I can just build it. It was initially not meant to be a career. It was just meant to be something I would learn. But as I proceeded, as I continued in the journey, I fell in love with the profession and I found myself going deeper and deeper. I first started off with a boot camp called Zuri, the Zuri Institute boot camp, and then I moved on to the HNG internship. I also did a few courses from Free Code Camp, Reading School, and Harvard CS50 as well. And then that was like basically how I started my career and how I was able to switch from microbiology to software engineering.
Okay. So was it the tough transition for you to move from one stream to another stream, or it was a smooth process for you? For you.
It was it was hectic. But for me, I love challenges generally. In fact, that was one of the major reasons I took up software engineering because it allows me to learn new things every day. So it was not smooth and it was not so difficult, but it was hectic. Like it required that I dedicated a lot of time and efforts and energy into learning because at the time I was transitioning, I'd already picked up a job. Like after school, I got a job. So the process of transitioning requires that after work every day, I have to stay back at the office to learn, to study, to do my assignments, to submit, to meet up with what I've been missing. And yeah, so it was a lot of work and effort. So yeah, hectic. And sometimes you know that because I mean I do not have the background of algorithms and all of that. So as I moved in my journey, I realized how important this these aspects, like data structures, algorithms, and foundational software engineering. So I started taking more courses, like taking videos and all of that. But I one major thing that really helped me was the fact that I did not face tutorial hell because I went through an institute, that's the Zuri Institute. So it was sort of like a an easier path for me to go through.
Okay. That's why we all say that your journey is very inspiring, because how many things you have suffered throughout your journey, still you transition from one stream to another, and you have contributed a lot for this community. So that's a really very great thing for everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, so now, Buchi, I want to talk bit about the program that you co-founded, which is Africa. So, which is a mentorship and networking platform. So, could you please tell us bit more about it, like what exactly it is and how it is helping others?
Okay, so Aricah, it's a mentorship platform, and just a brief background story of how Aricah came up.
Mm-hmm.
There was a At the time I was going through a training, and I realized that most new developers and new designers, they lacked guidance. Like, so basically, when developers and designers just come up, especially when you do not have a computer science background, it's sort of like difficult to navigate the industry. First, some people are faced with tutorial hell, some people are faced with no jobs, lack of networks, and all of that. And so when I saw that, I decided that, okay, how can I solve this issue? And then I created a platform called Aricah that's um that sought to bring mentees, that this upcoming, that's new developers and new designers and new technologies generally, to be mentored by experienced developers and designers and technologists. And aside from that, I also created a safe space, an online virtual community that allowed developers generally to be able to communicate, network, also gain resources, because there was like a lot of like jobs, resources, and lots more that we tend to like throw into the community, as well as provided them with information. And at a time we ran a boot camp, a design boot camp. We also had like a hacker rank. We usually do like hacker rank 30 days. Then we also did like CS50 and Aricah, where we created a study group for every community member and new members that were taking the CS50 course. So
Okay.
yes, that has been the journey for Arika. And just to mention that Arika has been able to impact more than 3,000 young Africans so far, as well
Okay.
as provide jobs for at least 10% of our community members. Yeah.
That's a great number. That's a great number. Okay. And apart from this, like as an ambassador for Women Techmakers, you are also contributing. So, what has been your proudest moment in empowering women in technology?
My proudest moments. So it's still going to be a background story. When I became the Women Techmakers ambassador, I was the first Women Techmakers ambassador for Asaba. So it's a town in Delta State here in Nigeria. I became the first Women Techmakers ambassador there. So
Okay.
what that meant was that I had to create the Women Techmakers community from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing that in that community, in that place, the tech in general was not very prominent. Like, a lot of people were not into technology. So what I did was that I brought in a few other ladies that were already part of the GDG program, and
Mm-hmm.
then they joined me, and then we built the community. My proudest moments were first of all organizing the first International Women's Day event in
Okay.
Asaba by Women Techmakers, organizing the first breakfast in Asaba. And in its totality, we've been able to reach like more than 300 women. Right now in our community, we have way more than 300 women from that community that are and not just that have not just become technology enthusiasts, but have gone ahead to learn technology skills like design, like blockchain, like development and technical writing and lots more. So yeah, proud moments would be seeing that these women, these ladies have been able to move from where they used to be, so picking up skills and also picking up jobs and like really growing from that point A to point B and C and forward. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And as a woman leader, what you think, what are the biggest barriers for women in entering in the tech industry today? And how can initiatives, like you have also involved in one initiative, which is girls like me in Africa. So how these kind of initiatives are helping them, and what are those barriers that you think that every woman is facing in current scenarios?
So one of the barriers that some women, because it's not all of the women that face the barrier, which is the low women that come from low income families or that women that lack exposure. Now, it is one thing to know what is possible in terms of achievements and what you can get, and it's another thing to not even know at all. Now, one of the things that Girls Like Me Africa is doing is that we are providing access to women from low income from backgrounds. Now, we are trying to bridge the gap between women that have less opportunities and women that have all the most of the opportunities. Now, by
Mm-hmm.
providing them with not just resources, educational resources, but also trainings like AI trainings, other tech skills, and ensuring that they know what is possible. So I think that one of the major barriers is lack of no knowledge, like knowing the possibilities, as well as gaining access to this information, access to the resources, access to laptops, access to good books, access to even institutes that they can actually learn these things. So yes, that's one of the major things that Girls Like Me Africa is looking to help out with.
Okay. And as we know, like you have been nominated for several prestigious awards, such as the WTM High Impact Award. So, what do you think? Like, how have these recognition have influenced your career or your journey?
Okay, so when I so basically I got my first nomination was in 2021, and I
Okay.
was nominated for the emerging software engineer by Tech Trend Africa. At the time, anytime these awards or nominations come, I do not expect them.
Okay.
And then in 2023, I was awarded the WTM High Impact Award.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, most often I do not expect them. But one major thing that it has done for me is to it has built my confidence first and foremost. Aside from that, it has allowed me to see that the work and the effort that I put in into my
Okay.
work and into also building others, it's seen. Like it's seen and it's been rewarded, and basically it's seen and my efforts are being like being as seen basically. So yeah, it has also allowed me, like when I got nominated in 2021, in
Mm-hmm.
2021, it just really made me to know that I can even do lots more as long as I
Right.
keep staying on that track, as long as I remain consistent, as long as I remain dedicated, as long as I remain committed to my craft, to not only my craft, and to also paying forward and empowering others. And because of this award, so whenever I get the nominations or whenever I get awarded, it just gives me this boost to keep going, to improve, to
Great.
get better, to even do more than I currently am, to build excellent systems. The idea is to build with excellence, to build with efficiency, and to also build time-bound systems as well.
Okay. And along with this, like you have been also awarded with that prestigious title, Google Developer Expert or GDE. So what do you think, how it has impacted your journey, or what does it mean to be GDE in web technology, and how has this role shaped your contribution to the tech community?
So, being a Google Developer Expert, a GDE, is one amazing honor. Honestly, it's an honor, and it's amazing because it's not only provides you with the honor and all, it provides you with the network. Like you're able to meet other experts, people that are experts in their fields. It
Mm-hmm.
also gives you access to gain like access to many places that you normally not have. gained access to like normally. And one of the things that the Google Developer Experts program has done for me is that it has improved my ability to contribute, because generally I like to speak, I like to talk about what I do, the work that I do, the
Yeah.
applications I build. And now, because of being a GDE, it gives me more opportunities. Like basically just pause these opportunities at my feet, and I am able to harness them and use them accordingly. Another thing again that the Google Developer Experts program has done. So like someone would say sometimes as developers, you might think, oh, I mean, Google says you're an expert. So, like, you wearing your crown with all confidence, knowing that your work is seen, your work is being appreciated, and
Yeah.
that other people, it just more like gives your work more validity. So, when I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking to people who believe that, okay, this person knows what she is talking about, right? And that amazing thing about being a Google developer expert is the learnings. I do
Yeah.
not, I cannot overemphasize this. I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot in process of being in different uh programs, conferences, and also in process of contributing. So it has improved my ability to contribute. Like my
Mm-hmm.
contributions have skyrocketed, and it has also enabled me to learn. It has given me access to many opportunities, like like a lot of opportunities that I
Yeah.
normally would not have access to, like generally. And it has also helped me to gain a network, a very robust network of other experts in different fields.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And during the research, we found that when you mostly you emphasize the thoughtfulness a thoughtful user experience in your work. So, what are your principles or maybe the strategies for creating a product with exceptional user experience? Because this is one of your core expertise.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. So one of the major things that I look out for while building applications with thoughtful user experience is empathy. I I'm usually very strategic with building applications because I believe that for every application has a story.
Right.
And the minute I am able to put myself within and be empathetic enough to work adequately to build that application, my thought system now does not just go hover around building an application, but it goes around wanting to see what the users of this application would want, how they would navigate it, how they would be able to use it, how intuitive the application would be, how simplistic this application would be, and also ensuring that regardless of how complex the application is, it is designed with so much intuition, so much simplicity, so much ease, and an ability to for and ensuring that the application is able to scale and is able to be used properly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Okay. So, if we talk about the mentorship, because you, with some so many initiatives, you are playing a role of mentor for many of the other students and IT folks, right? So, looking back at your career, like who were the key people or the person like who have guided you, inspired you, or supported you in your early stages, and what those special quality did you learn from them?
So yeah, the major people that have guided me, I've met a lot of people in my career,
Yeah.
in my journey so far. And the first set of people, of course, would be my family. From my
Yes.
parents to my siblings, they've been my biggest influence in even like moving forward. Times when I wanted to give up at the beginning of my career, there were times that I felt, oh, this thing is hard, I want to stop. And I got so much encouragement from family and from my friends. And another key player in my career, I would say, is Mark Essien, who is
Mm-hmm.
the founder of the HNG program. Because after my Zuri Institute training, I was able to go through the HNG internship. And everything changed from that moment. I became a finalist from the HNG internship, right?
Okay.
Then another person again that I would say has been very pivotal in my journey so far would be Eunice Alela, who is a community manager at Google. she has truly held my hands, honestly, and helped me navigating the world of even being an ambassador, as
Mm-hmm.
well as becoming a Google developer expert. I would also say Ada Oyom, who is the founder of She Code Africa. She inspires me a lot, and like and having small conversations with her, I've learned and have grown in a lot of ways. I have a lot of other people that I want to list, which I'm not even sure I can remember all of them. I mean, my friends have been instrumental, my tutors, my mentors, I have a few of them, and yes, and my colleagues as well, work colleagues here. I've had
Yeah.
the most amazing work colleagues, and also have had a few bosses that were really, really kind and supportive, and just really ensuring that my growth process was a primary goal for them as well. So yeah.
Okay, all right. And like you are playing a various roles, whether it's a tech writer or maybe is a Google developer expert or a software engineer. So what do you think, like how you are managing all these activities together? Because it's not that easy to do so many things, because you are contributing as GDE as well. You are writing as a tech creator as well as you are there is some professional things as well that comes under a software engineering. So how you are managing all these stuff together, like is there any particular strategy that you follow?
So my day is usually packed with
Mm-hmm.
work first and foremost, which is of course my priority, and then other things like activities and community and all. What I do is that I am really very strategic with my time.
Okay.
I make use of time management tools like Notepad. So I have a notepad on my device, on all my devices. It's everywhere. I also have a small note. So every morning or in the night before the day, I plan myself. I put in every single thing I need to achieve for that day. And I put in the time, the hours. So I know that, okay, my work is meant to take the bulk of the day, like most of the day. And then I
Yeah.
can now portion a few more hours to other activities. And that thing again that I do is time blocking. So I just
Mm-hmm.
ensure that, okay, I also use like a set limit on my apps, on my social media, and also I set limits on I put like alarms and reminders to just tell me that, okay, it's time to move to the next task. So when I know that I have to ask for one particular thing, I need to sit up and like I need to really do what I need to do properly. And yes, one last thing that I do to stay motivated is that I read a lot. I love to read books. Books have helped my growth. Like a lot of books. One of the books that I love is Goals by Brian Tracy. I also have
Mm-hmm.
there's this book called Atomic Habits, and a lot of other books. Like I read books. Sometimes you just need this motivation to even remember why you initially started, and to help you to align your activities properly so that you're not disorganized. Because the minute you could just begin to get disorganized, you lose focus and you lose your reason and the reason basically why. And yeah, and last thing that I want to mention is everything that I do is linked. Everything that I do, they're all linked together. For instance, the articles that I write, every article that I write is based on the work that I have done,
Mm-hmm.
or yes, basically based on the work I have done. The presentations and the places I speak at is based on what I'm doing. So I try not to go outside. So everything just converges together, right? Like, and then I'm able to manage them because it's as though I'm still doing the same thing in a different way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also try to set my calendar. I use calendars a lot, I use schedulers a lot, and I use my notepads a lot. My notes, yeah.
Okay, all right. So although like there are many things that we can discuss here, but just because of the limitation of time, I would like to ask my last question, and it is related to your philosophy. So what do you think, like what does success look like for you, and whether it is professional wise or personal wise, like what is the definition for success for you?
So I would define success in one word, and that is
Okay.
impact.
Okay.
So yeah, for me, success is impact, and impact brings me the highest level of fulfillment that nothing else can ever bring me. That is why every aspect of the things that I do is driven towards impact. The work that I do, the communities that I manage and have built, the the things, every single thing that I do, I drive it and I align it towards impact. Because for me, the minute I'm able to make change something for someone, the
Mhm.
minute I'm able to make someone become better or become more, the minute I'm able to provide resources, knowledge, guide, help, and pay forward, then for me that is the highest level of success. And because of my ability to, because of what my notion of wanting to always impact, I tend to always serve. Like I'm always ready to give my time, my effort, my work, my abilities, and my skills. I just want to mention quickly that there is service pays, like service would pay, whether it's in volunteering, whether it's in leading, whether it's in building, service pays. It pays way more than and I'm not saying that people should do service, like do these things because they want to be paid, or I mean
Yeah.
paid, not financial, yeah, but the minute you give yourself to help
Correct.
others, to serve others, somehow it just comes back to you in a triple fold and in ways that you would usually not even expect it to come. So yes, it defines success for me, honestly, and it's really gives me the greatest fulfillment to see that others are becoming because of me.
All right. Okay. So thank you so much, Buchi, for joining us today in this episode and for sharing your expertise with us. It was really very nice talking to you, and I hope you also enjoyed the discussion. So thank you once again.
Thank you very much, Amit, for having me. It's been a pleasure being on here, this podcast today.
Thank you.